Welcome back, everybody, to the Royal Family Podcast. As you can see, we're finally in the same room. Good to see you. It's been a long time.
We're back again.
Mm-hmm.
How are you, Austin? How was your voyage? You're like, what did you say, 22, 23 hour?
Yeah,
voyage?
across a couple oceans, a sea or three, and then about 15 to 20,000 lakes.
So you flew over Minnesota or something?
Exactly.
Or Michigan? It's Michigan.
It's Minnesota. Land of 10,000 lakes. Yeah.
Wow. So the Royals have lost a lot recently. I don't know if you've noticed that.
I have, by the disappointment in your voice. Anytime we talk, it's palpable.
Yeah, it's been a little tough. I think a lot of people might be pessimistic right now about where we are, and maybe you could shed some light on what position we're in and why it might not look so good.
We've already lost to the Phillies, right? As of the time we're recording this, we already lost the first game. Got two more. We lost the last series against Cleveland. So currently we're 6 games behind with 14 left to go. It seems as though Seattle is finding their stride. Seems as though Cleveland is finding their stride. I believe they're, 8-1 over their last 9 games.
You could also argue that both of those teams are just playing bad teams.
True.
Seattle playing Atlanta, St. Louis, Angels, Cleveland playing us.
So are we a bad team?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yes.
I guess, yeah, at the point we are right now, we have been playing like a bad team lately. I kind of thought, along with probably everybody else, September 1st, with the roster expansion, bringing up Caglione and Jensen, we thought, okay, we're going to inject some new life. But Lugo, with his struggles, goes on IL. Waka goes on IL. I know it's only a week, but still.
Well, and you say that. Kolek has been pitching 10 times better than Lugo was, and our bullpen start with Waka out was one of our best games and one of our only wins over the last week. So you'd think being able to overcome those issues, we would be in a better position right now.
Yeah, you really would think so. Although their impact hasn't been huge, one thing we've talked about before, I know, is like the at-bats that Caglione and Jensen have been able to have, quality at-bats, forcing the pitcher to really work to try to get the out. I think that has been great to see. I would have liked more life in the other bats for our team. I just feel like if we give up more than 4 or 5 runs, it's almost as if it's game over, because our offense is not only is there a lack of consistency, but there's a lack of firepower right now. So unless we're in a close, game where there's only 2 or 3 runs being scored, it's really hard to feel optimistic.
Sometimes when we're in those close games, those 1-2 run games, maybe we're up like 2-1 and we're going to the 8th inning. Taylor, Clark, Estevez are both available, so just hit them with the 1-2. They've been great all year. And then, we close out the game. And then Schreiber stays in, who's already given up 2 games to the Guardians this week. And he gives up the game again. So, like, even when our offense does enough because of how good our pitching is, we still happen to have some bad decisions being made that end up losing us the game, which really sucks, and you can't win that way. But if I were to look at it glass half full instead of glass with 1 drop in it, I would say we are not 6 games behind Seattle only. We are 6 games behind Seattle and Houston. We have Seattle coming up, a series against Seattle. So let's say we win the next 2 games, which obviously is not likely, but it's possible. We have Berger tonight. which obviously had a terrible start his last start, but besides that, he's been Mr. Consistent. And I think it had something to do with it being his hometown. Everybody was there to watch him. I think he got nervous. So, assuming Bergert can have a similar start that he has all year, let's say we get these two. Theoretically, we could be back 4 by then. And then Seattle comes here. We're back 4. We could sweep them real quick and be back 1. And then just play our best ball the rest of the year. Now, that's 5 in a row. That's not likely. I'm just saying there's a chance to do that. Houston has the hardest schedule of any baseball team the rest of the way. So there's also a chance they could plummet. Houston plays Seattle. Cleveland plays Texas. Houston plays Texas. These are all things that could work in our favor. The only thing we have to do is win, which that's the biggest reason it looks like we're out of it is not because we're 6 games back. It's because we just look like we can't win. So this slump has been about the same amount of time as our terrible slump in June. My hope would be, just like June, we pop out of it. We go into a massive winning streak, or like a massive string some massive wins together, and let the other people fight each other, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's not looking amazing right now, I wouldn't say. But assuming this is the end of the year, there's some other things to focus on. Like some offseason moves we have to make. And first order of business to me is to extend Maikel. I don't need to go on another tirade where I list all of his stats in order. It's pretty obvious we need to extend Maikel. If they don't extend Maikel, I'm going to look at them differently. I'm going to start to wonder a few things about, like, do you not like when we have players who, like, have a little more swagger? Because I've gotten the sense they might feel that way about certain things. And if that's how they feel, they got to chill out.
I would sound more optimistic about it. If this was like the days of Glass back in the day, I would have been like, yeah, we're probably going to ship him off. I mean, you get rid of Royals of old, a lot of times would get rid of a player like Bobby Witt Jr. They wouldn't have extended him. But with Sherman, I know there's a lot of talk as far as, stadium this and all that other stuff, but he at least seems willing to pay a little bit of money, whereas I feel a previous owner was less willing to do so. But I do agree, like, Maikel has absolutely earned that contract extension. He is a younger player. He is a talented player. He's someone who can help us win, not just now, but even over the course of the next 5 to 7 years.
If I could cut in,
sure.
He's also the only player in the league in the 88th percentile or higher in whiff percent, chase percent, and exit velocity. Those are numbers that show a guy who is just gonna be consistent throughout his career. There's a lot of people who have flukes, like they're bad so many years and then they have one good year and then they go back to being bad. But all of his like saber metrics are the metrics of a dude who is going to continue to be a solid player down the line. His squared up rate is really good. His strikeout percentage, it's all incredibly impressive, especially with his gigantic improvement from last year. But it just shows that he is probably going to be consistently this good or better because of how big of an improvement he made this year. Who knows how much bigger of an improvement he could make.
Like, that's just the offensive side of things. Defensively, he's one of the top third basemen in the league. So I think him, combine that with Bobby, you've got the top 1 to 3 spots of your lineup penciled in each and every game. And I know Bobby has, had the recent back spasms and everything, but these are durable guys. These are guys that can play throughout the 162 game schedule, and he just gets on base and he has that ability to steal, just creating more and more opportunities for guys that are further down in the batting lineup.
Yeah, and he's about to get on base a lot more because the rest of the MLB is going to take a look at his numbers in the offseason, and they're not going to pitch to him as much. They're gonna start respecting him, and he's gonna start getting a lot more bases. The next order of business, or one of the other orders of business, extend Vinny. I don't feel as passionate about this one, but 30 home runs, 100 RBIs, probably the second year in a row he would have done that if he didn't get injured for the last month last year. We've got an incredible talent, and like you've been talking about a bit, he started off really, really bad, which we found out, I think, on a Fox broadcast that through Matt Quatrero, that they tried to change Vinny's swing in the first month. They thought his bat speed or some metric like that wasn't quite right, and if he improved it, he'd be doing this much better. But instead, it did the opposite, so at some point, Vinny was just like, fuck this. I'm going to go back to what I know because it was working. So he went back to it, and he's had an incredible year. His year could have been so much better if they didn't try to do that. And I'm not saying I don't know all the inner workings, and Fox's journalism on it wasn't like the deepest I've ever seen. So like, I'm not saying it's never like a good thing to improve someone's swing a little bit. I'm just saying if it's not broke, don't fix it. And the only thing about Vinny that was broke was his thumb for a little bit. Third order of business, I think we have to change up something in the coaching staff. Our first episode, we were in person. It was all about how we need to fire Q, essentially. Or maybe we weren't that aggressive, but it's what we were thinking. I have calmed down a bit because I know I've seen the people I argue with that are either Q can do nothing wrong, or Q is a toddler that we found on the street and gave a manager job. I have been like, okay, I see how crazy these people come across. I need to chill. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's a great manager, but there's so much I don't know. So I'm not just going to straight up say we need to fire him and like hammer that point home. But I do think something needs to change within the offensive side of the coaching staff. Our hitting coach was a pitcher in the major leagues. And not only was he a pitcher, he's a pitcher that never had hitting coach experience. And we hired him as our hitting coach. That was actually Dayton Moore that did that, which I think is part of the reason he's still here. I think JJ or Sherman or whoever wants to hold on to the parts of the organization that Dayton put together because he's responsible for our championship runs. Again, there's something behind the scenes that I probably don't know with their trust in Zumwalt somehow. That's fine for however many years he's been the hitting coach. At least 3, I want to say, probably more than that. But he's unproven. He had his chance to prove himself. He didn't. I think that's probably an area we could let go of. It just needs to be somewhere. Something needs to change. And I'd be okay if they fire Q, but I more or less understand if they don't. He signed him to an extension after we went from losing 100 to going to the playoffs. So his contract would have ended this year, but instead it ends after next year. So I kind of doubt he fires him with only one more year left. And like, it's not like we were in playoff contention all year. So
yeah, I'd find it highly unlikely they fire Q. I do think maybe some personnel changes, whether that be a certain base coach or a hitting coach. This team has a lot of talent, like on paper. And I do feel at times coaching decisions, whether that be directly from Q or some of the other bench coaches, I feel like there were a lot of lost opportunities that if we don't make the playoffs this season, we'll look back and be like, there was an opportunity, there was an opportunity, there was an opportunity. And of course, the players are the ones who are out there playing on the field. And obviously, yes, they deserve some sort of responsibility. But there have been multiple situations throughout this season where pitching decisions have cost us games. And at the end of the season, that could be the difference.
One of the last orders of business, pick up Salvy's option.
Yeah.
A lot of people are talking about how, well, when I say a lot of people, there was an article I saw the other day, I think from Royals Review, that talked about how Salvy is not worth $13.5 million or whatever it is, based on his play. And there's definitely a lot of merit to that. Doesn't matter. He earned it. He's a legend. We'll burn the city down. Well, half of our fan base will burn the city down if we let him go. And picking up that option is not getting a more productive hitter. That's not the reason you're doing it. You now have a dude specifically for teaching the catchers below him, which will be so important in developing our young talent. Look at what Freddie did from Salvy's mentorship. Not saying he couldn't do it on his own, but clearly learned a lot from Salvy. Now he's a starting catcher. We have our number one prospects is a catcher, and then Carter is up. And so we need to keep him. I think you probably agree. We probably don't need to say too much more on that. I don't think this season is a sign of age, really. Salvy stays in shape. I heard a story that I think Aroldis, we were playing whoever Chapman was on the team of at the time, Aroldis Chapman. And I think somebody hit a ball that hit Chapman in the face. And that night, Salvy visited him in the hospital, and he ended up telling Salvy that he needs to get into the gym and really will increase his longevity in the league if he's consistently working out. And ever since then, Salvy has, and he's stayed in shape. I think Salvy has had so many inconsistencies of like bad or like worst season, good season, worst season, good season, best season, worst season, good season. I don't think this is a sign of age yet from what I can see. Maybe on defense a little, but I think he could easily come back next season and have a better one. The last thing I want us to do is shop India, personally. It's not like I carried some amount of disdain for him just because he was in the leadoff spot, which he never should have been in. But that's a Q thing. I shouldn't be mad at him for that. So I'm cool with India. I think he can be a good bat, like especially like in the seven hole. But I think his defense is awful. I think we should shop him, probably for cash, and then try to sign a free agent in the offseason, or call up Harold Castro, who's lighting up AAA right now. He is playing in the infield, all over the infield, so he can play second base. Whatever you want to do, but I think we should shop India because he's not doing what they brought him here to do. Now we're going to get into our Chiefs update part of the podcast. The Chiefs played the Chargers down in Brazil this past week, and Harrison Butker missed an extra point. Ended up being kind of crucial. Maybe he should have stayed in the kitchen. But anyways, going over to some athletes with some more reliable legs. Awesome.
Yes, let's talk about our current thoughts and kind of the state of the KC Current. As everybody knows, we're top of the NWSL standings.
Everybody.
We're kind of at a runaway at this point. But a couple important things. Not only have we qualified for the playoffs, but we're guaranteed a top 4 playoff position. Which means that we will have home field advantage through at least the quarterfinals if we make it that far.
Yes, and we are recording this on Saturday, a few hours before the match against Washington, so we won't be talking about that today.
Sure. I kind of wanted to make sure that we talk about just sort of what the Current have to look forward to for the rest of the season. Like after they play Washington tonight, We will be home against Seattle. Seattle's always a tough team to play, but I think we've got a good chance of them, especially with them coming to KC.
Wait, so that's a week from today?
Yeah, a week from today.
God, a bunch of big matches against Seattle this week.
I know. Mariners, rain. Oh boy, it'll be fun though. After we play Seattle, we play Chicago. Chicago's been kind of at the bottom of the league throughout the season, but could be a trap game. Ludmila for Chicago Stars has been on a tear lately. She can easily put 3 or 4 goals past you, so we got to be careful in that matchup. Then we play away at Angel FC. We'll be home against Gotham, away to Houston, then we finish the season out against San Diego. So who are the teams that the Current should kind of keep an eye on as we get closer to the playoffs?
Can I guess?
Go ahead.
I would guess Washington is one.
Absolutely.
Orlando is not as much of a threat as they used to be, but still got to keep an eye on them.
Sure.
And then Gotham.
You are essentially correct on all of those. With Orlando, kind of like you mentioned, I'm less concerned. They've kind of been on a bit of a slide lately, and they've lost 2 or 3 positions. They were second when Barbara Banda went down. Now I think they're 4th or 5th in the league. As far as Gotham is concerned, that's a very good point you bring up. Esther Gonzalez has been on a tear. She has 13 goals now. Gotham has won their last 3 games. They're really starting to heat up. They started the season with a lot of their star players injured. Now they're getting people back healthy. They're starting to gel. The other team, Washington, who we play, Trinity Rodman,
Croy Bethune.
Croy Bethune alongside her. They've got great attacking presence. That's going to be a team to watch. They were last year's NWSL runner-ups. They've been unbeaten in their last 9 games against all competitions. And they signed Sofia Cantore over the summer, the first Italian player in NWSL history. She's already been producing. She already has 2 goals on the season. I mean, she was one of the finalists for the Ballon d'Or, the women's best player in the world. So she can really play. And then a dark horse team that I don't think not enough people are paying attention to is Houston Dash. They're in the 9th place right now, 1 spot below the playoff line. But in the last 5 games, they've had 3 wins, 2 draws. They're unbeaten in their last 6. They're starting to heat up. They've got Jane Campbell back in goal, who can give you a clean sheet any day of the week. So definitely keep an eye out for... Huh?
I should hit her up. My
Jane
sheets,
Campbell?
my sheets are pretty dirty.
Oh my gosh.
Been
yeah.
needing to wash them.
Yeah, I should hit you up with that bounce. But anyways, I think keeping an eye out for Houston is going to be huge, because I think at the end of the day, I think they will make it into the playoffs, and they could be a dark horse team that can surprise just about anybody. Just kind of bringing it back to the Current and kind of our own roster and what's going on in-house. I think as we close out these next, 6-7 games, I think there's going to be...
6-7?
Yeah, exactly. You caught on. I think that there's going to be more of a changing out of the roster. And by that, I think the players who have played like every single game, like an Izzy Rodriguez, a Claire Hutton, Lola Bonta, Kayla Sharples, I think you're going to see those players being either subbed out of games or maybe being given a rest and coming on as substitutes. I think to do this to kind of avoid burnout, but also to give some of the bench players who've had less playing time throughout the season just a better chance to get some in-game action and kind of stay prepped and ready for the playoffs, because it's really going to be an all-hands-on-deck effort to be able to make a run to the championship.
All right, now we're going to get into a little game. It's a classic. It's called 20 questions, except for our purposes, it's called 5 questions, because I am going to think of a player from one of our 3 sports franchises in Kansas City, the Current, the Royals, the Chiefs, and you are going to ask me 5 questions, and by the 5th question, you have to make a guess. You can make a guess at any time, but if you make the guess, it's over. Whether you win or lose. And then you're going to do the same to me. So I'll start off. Go ahead.
So I'm going to ask you just questions.
Yeah.
Okay, and ask you anything, just as long as it's yes or no.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this player a female?
No.
Do they play for the Chiefs?
Yes.
Do they play offense?
Yes.
Can they catch touchdown passes?
Yes. What an interesting question.
Because I don't know. I'm trying to think of like yes or no
But
questions.
if you asked if they were a wide receiver or
so
if
I
they
can
were
ask that. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It's a yes or no question.
Okay, gotcha. I guess I could have. Okay, I'm at 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here, we'll say 5 questions and then you guess.
Okay, sure. Are they a receiver?
Yes. Unfortunate that you asked that 4th question.
Yeah, I know.
But give me your guess.
Hollywood Brown.
Nope.
Dang.
I was thinking of Royals.
Good one. Very good one. Very good one. Nice.
Go ahead.
Okay, I got one.
All right. Are they a male?
Yes.
Do they play for the Royals?
Yes.
Are they an offensive player?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say. Are they a starting pitcher?
No.
Based on the knowledge you have or what you would assume, are they better against righties?
Oh my gosh. I would say yes. Yeah, better against righties.
Okay. Was that 5?
Yeah.
Luinder Avila.
It was Carlos Estevez.
Dude, that's who I was thinking the whole time, and then I was like, no, he wouldn't do one that obvious. Oh. Okay, I got one.
Are they a male?
No.
It's weird, like how to think, like what to like how to ask.
Yeah.
Are they an attacking player? He's got to look her up.
I would say yes.
Okay. Are they American?
I think so.
What?
I
That's not a good answer.
You expect me to know everything about them?
Nationality wise, like not necessarily family origin, but and the fact that you're not sure about it leads me to think that it's someone who is American but has a foreign sounding name, which makes me think
I just don't know. There could be a million British people here with similar names to us, but
not to me, but
what how many questions have you?
That was 3.
3.
Okay. Is this person captain?
No.
Is this person white?
Yes.
Okay. That helps. So that's 5. Because like I know who I'm but you wouldn't know her. So then it's
or would I?
I wouldn't think you would. Okay. At least not off the dome.
I would say trust your gut.
I know this is taking too long, but wait a second. Sorry, I figured it out. Ali Sentnor, is that who it is? What is it? Claire Hutton?
No.
I'm gonna be mad. Is it?
It's interesting. I thought you were thinking of the right person.
Is it? Oh, is it DiBernardo?
No.
Okay,
It's to be clear. I told you that you asked a yes or no question.
Yeah.
It says midfield/forward. So I said yes because forward is in there. So as you guys may see, we had to take a break in the recording, but Austin did figure out after a few hints and multiple guesses.
Okay, one hint and multiple guesses. One hint.
He figured out that it was Alex Pfeiffer.
Okay, I got somebody.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Are they a female?
Yes, they are.
Are they white?
No.
Are they American?
Yes, she is.
Do they have a goal this year?
Yes, she does.
Okay. I don't remember her name. Was at least one of her goals this year a header, technically?
Yes.
Is her last name Ball?
Yeah.
Easy.
Elizabeth Ball.
Easy.
Nice job. That was good.
All right. Next, we have something I'm super excited about, and that is we have a little challenge for anyone out there watching, specifically our TikTok audience. Essentially, the Royals, as we record this, are 6 games back, only have 14 games to go. The odds are stacked against us. So what we want from you guys is we want to hear the adjustments you would make at this point of the season. And we're going to take those adjustments that you give us and put them into a baseball simulator. And we're going to see how the Royals do based on your adjustments. And this is going to be a bit of a contest. Whoever's changes, adjustments, gets the Royals into the playoffs, you win. And what do you win, you ask? Well, thank you for asking. You win this lovely Mike Sweeney baseball card. It does say don't play with matches or fire, and it was made by Kansas City Life Insurance Company. I think it's supposed to go to children to be a good influence. But hey, you win it, and then you also win a ticket to a Royals game this year. 1 ticket. Parking not included, but you have to make it. Your team has to make it to the playoffs for you to win this. If no one makes it to the playoffs, nobody wins. If multiple people make it to the playoffs, whoever has the better record will win. If multiple people make it to the playoffs and have the same record, whoever commented first will win. All you have to do to enter is comment and be following our page, the Royal Family Podcast. And real quick, we are going to give you the adjustments we would make. So Austin, you want to start us off?
Sure. First move I'd like to make is to reinstate Cole Reagans as a starting pitcher, move Michael Lorenzen into the bullpen. So yeah, after that, I would like to DFA Sam Long and bring up Steven Cruz.
Put Sam Long on waivers and DFA him after the 3-day period and then bring up Cruz. Yep.
Yeah, let's do that.
Cool.
The third, I guess, roster move that I have is to option down Nick Lofton. He has options left, right?
Yeah.
I think he does. Okay. Option down Nick Lofton and bring up MJ Melendez.
Crazy.
Who recently hit for a cycle. It
did
was
hit for a
electric.
cycle. Yeah.
Okay, so now as far as lineups go, against left-handed pitchers, what I've got is Maikel Garcia, the leadoff spot, followed by Bobby Witt Jr. We've got Vinnie at third, Vinnie batting third, playing first base. El Capitan batting fourth, playing catcher. Adam Frazier batting fifth and right field. India playing second base. He'll be batting sixth. I'll have Jack Caglione batting seventh in the DH spot. Got Michael Massey playing left field. And then lastly, I will have Isbel/Melendez playing in center field batting ninth.
Absolutely bonkers. Go ahead.
But it will be more favored towards Isbel, of course. You know how I love me some Izzy. Versus right-handed pitchers. I'm going to have Yaz in the leadoff spot, batting first in left field, followed by Vinnie, then Maikel playing third, batting third as well. Vinnie will be fourth. He'll be playing first base with some time playing DH. Fifth, Salvador Perez catching with little sprinkles of first base in there. Isbel will be batting sixth. He'll be playing in center field. Jack Caglione will be batting seventh. He'll be playing in right field. And then I will have Carter Jensen in the DH spot with some time playing catcher. I know Maley's there. Realistically, I would have Maley catching in some of these situations as well. Wouldn't just put Maley out to pasture. And then batting ninth, I'll have Michael Massey, and he will be playing second base.
Okay, my changes. I'm putting Sam Long on waivers with the intention of DFAing him. After 3 days, when I do DFA him, I will call up Steven Cruz. I'm going to option John Schreiber, reinstate Reagans from the IL. And I'm going to use Reagans in kind of like a follower role. So we'll have Lorenzen pitch a few innings, and once he inevitably starts to look like he's about to give up some runs, we'll have Reagans come in for 3 or 4 innings. That'll be in the game plan. Then I'm going to option Nick Lofton, call up Harold Castro, who is just ripping through AAA right now. My lineup versus left-hand pitchers is going to be Maikel at third, Bobby at short, Vinnie at first, Salvy at catcher, Cags in right field, Frazier most of the time, and then Castro some of the time at second base, India in the 7-hole at DH, Massey at left field, and Tolbert in center field. And then versus right-hand pitchers, I have Yaz splitting time between left and right field, Maikel at third, Bobby at short, Vinny at first, Salvy at catcher. Then I have Cags splitting time between right and DH, and then occasionally Castro at second base, all split throughout that 6th spot. Then I have Massey splitting time between second base and left field, Isbell and center, and then I have Jensen at DH splitting time with Frazier in right field in that 9-hole, which I think would be a really good idea to have Jensen at the 9 because he gets on base a lot. He has over 400 on base percentage so far, and having somebody get on base and then going to the top of that lineup, I think would be huge. So we want to hear your suggestions. What do you guys think the Royals should do? What do you think they should change up? Obviously, like realistically, it's not looking good for us. But if you think you could make the perfect amount of suggestions to get us as close to the playoffs as you possibly could, what are those suggestions? And again, you can win a luxurious $10 value prize if you enter. So let's hear from you. And sorry, podcast audience, if you're out there, if you exist, been talking to TikTok for a while. That's my side chick, sorry. But thanks for watching. This has been a wonderful podcast, and yeah, appreciate that.
See y'all next time.